Hey gang, I'm in Houston right now. We're doing some productivity sessions for Wealth Press, and I'm here with my really good friend Andy Bustamante. And this is gonna amaze you. Andy is a real ex-CIA operative. This guy was in the CIA. He knows how everything works. And as you guys know, I've been talking a lot. I've been talking a lot about global economy, how global economy is going to impact U.S. economy, China, and all of these things. We've been talking about it nonstop, okay? I'm sure you've heard me talk about it. So today, I'm going to talk to Andy, or Andy's going to explain to you guys how the government, how the U.S. economy, how the government, how the flow of information travels. And it'll blow your mind away. This is this is the kind of stuff you'll watch or learn in a Jason Bourne movie. So Andy, the million-dollar question, the question that I have and the question that I'm sure most people have is, all of that information that gets funneled, I know we start with a big funnel and we work its way down, and the president may only, or the admiral, or the head of the Secret Service may only get 2% of it when it's all down, because that's what's really important. Mm-hmm. But what percentage of that makes its way to CNBC, CNN, Fox News, our Washington Post? How much does the public get to keep from that information? Give me an example.
Yeah, it's an excellent question. And what I'd like to do is paint two pictures. Mm-hmm. A visual and then a number, because I know you're looking for a number, right? Yeah. So we've got the funnel that we're working with. And inside this funnel, at the very top of the funnel, that's all operations. Mm. That's sources, spies, that's how FBI does business, how CIA does business. That's all super sensitive, super classified stuff. That's the stuff that gets people killed.
Okay.
And that's wow. Probably 40% of the funnel. So there's no way that CNN's going to get that. There's no when CNN gets that, terrible things happen.
Understood.
Right?
Totally understood.
If you remember back in the day when we found out, I think it was CNN that launched a story talking about how Osama bin Laden was using a satellite telephone.
Yes.
When they made that announcement, every operation against Osama bin Laden dried up. Because he saw CNN and he saw, oh, my satellite phone is no good, so he found some other way to communicate.
Of course.
He went black.
Yeah, so this is
terrible things happen in that top 40%. Right? Mm-hmm. You move down, the next part of the filter is about 20%, and that's where all the individual analysts have it. Now, at this level, when people leak sensitive information, mm-hmm. this is where WikiLeaks is dangerous.
Got it.
Right? This is where sometimes you have
the middle ground.
And if you have a news source that says, oh, this is a confidential source, or a confidential source out of CIA, or an unnamed source out of DOD.
Yeah.
This is where this 20% is where they're coming in.
Where it's not 100% accurate and it's fuzzy.
Because it's only
rumored.
one stream of information, right? It's not cross-referenced. It's not cross-vetted. And what ends up happening is when a 24-hour news source gets a hold of that, they need to maximize the value of it.
Of course.
So they guess and they pontificate, and it's not fact-based.
Right.
But it does end up inciting a lot of fear and concern.
Of course.
And it's only a small piece. Now, by the time it gets to the bottom,
mm-hmm.
right, here's where you got the last 10 or 15% that turns into the 7% that gets analyzed and
mm-hmm.
sent to the president. And I haven't been doing my math, so I don't know if we've hit 100% yet. I apologize. I should probably be focusing on
numbers
math.
game. This is not a numbers game.
And in that last percent, that's where reports get written and reports
mm-hmm.
get transferred, and people decide what has to get redacted and what gets shared with the public.
Got it.
Because whatever gets shared with the public is essentially also being handed into the hands of foreign governments.
Of course.
So it's very difficult. You've got to give the president and the Congress and the Senate and all the senior administrators of trade organizations inside the United States, you have to give them primacy. They have to have the information first. Mm-hmm. They have to choose what does and what doesn't get shared.
So Andy, here's the question. It seems like the government keeps a lot out of the public. Do the people are they powerless? Is there anything they can do to gain an edge and get some more information? I mean, it sounds like we're only getting 30-40% at best. Give me some info about
Absolutely.
that.
So what the government keeps sensitive
mm-hmm.
is because it could have detrimental impact on American lives, American safety, American people, right? American priorities. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you want to empower them to keep that sensitive and secret. What the public can do to gain an advantage, to gain access to increased information, there's two things. First, scour open source. Open source is anything that's out there in the media, in social media, newspapers, not just American newspapers, but foreign newspapers too. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. If you read Al Jazeera, if you read anything out of Great Britain, if you read anything out of France, Google Translate is a fantastic tool for being able to consume foreign news.
Interesting.
Now you've just expanded exponentially
Interesting.
the amount of information that you have to make your conclusions.
Right, because what our country wants to keep secret, it may not be that big of a deal somewhere else. See,
Bingo.
that's something that regular people like me would never think of.
Bingo.
That's brilliant.
And then when you put yourself in the shoe of the analyst, no longer is it just a CIA analyst who's consuming and making a final analytical product. Now you yourself, the consumer, are pulling information, making your own decision, and choosing your fate, choosing your actions based on your own analysis. You have been fully empowered with the information available to you.
Interesting. So the best chance, the best opportunity we have at getting objective data is to reach global, use the internet, use the power of the internet, use Google Translate, go to other countries where US data may not be censored, but other data may be censored. I actually completely understand that.
Use the power of that brain that you are using every day.
Of course.
Apply that in your own best interest.
Understood. Well, listen, and this is very fascinating. I mean, I'm learning so much just from talking to you the last few days, and we got to do this again. But if somebody wants to learn more about this, about your past, about your history, about what you offer, what you do, and how you can help the ordinary person live and think like somebody who's an ex-CIA agent, what do they do? Where do they go?
Find your way to everydayspy.com.